So recently I went to Subiefest, I think it was about a week ago, last weekend. I didn't film enough clips to make an entire video all on its own, but I did have some leftover clips that I wanted to throw in a video and I didn't want them to go to waste. So if you guys have been following this channel for a while, you guys know that I had a Super STI that was like full bolt-on Z85. It was like one of my favorite cars ever, and I sold it for an Evo that is not yet complete yet. Yeah, I mainly wanted to film just because at the last Subiefest I still had my Subaru, and then this one I didn't, and I really just wanted to capture some clips for the guys that I know still follow the channel and grew up kind of seeing it with the Subaru and everything, and just wanted to get you guys some more car content. So I hope you guys enjoy. If you guys did, please smash that like button, sit back, enjoy, and let's see Subiefest. What's happening, guys? It is a Saturday morning. We are going to a car show. It's been a while since I've gone to anything just because I'm so busy working all the time. But if you guys have been a long time subscriber for this channel, you may remember that I've gone to Subiefest 2 times. This will be the 3rd time going. I don't have a Subaru anymore. If you guys have been following, I have an Evo 9 now. But I feel like it'd be kind of funny since the show's super close to my house. It's literally down the street, to go get you guys some cool clips of cars. I have the day off and take advantage of just that there's a really nice car show that happens once a year right in my backyard. The only thing is my bank froze my debit card, so I don't know if you have to pay to get in here or not. I'm pretty sure you do. I don't know if we can finesse our way in there. I'm gonna figure it out when we get there though. And it wouldn't be a video without the famous TEs. Look so good on the V8 chassis. Man, if I still had my STI, this man did exactly what I would have did. Alright, so a few weeks ago I saw a WRX colored this sick gray color, and I always thought, damn, it'd be sick if they made the STI in that color. They actually make the STI in this super rad gray or blue. I don't know what this is considered, but this color's super sick. Tons of Subarus, everyone's racing around. Man. Here's a new RA STI, that new, I don't even know what's really different about this other than the carbon fiber roof and some of the chassis tweaks. This STI retails for like $50,000. Pretty crazy. Alright, so somehow finessed my way in. And it's not even because I didn't want to pay, just because I literally can't withdraw money until tomorrow. Show's super big, lots of people. Vlogging in public is so weird. This is the homie Sally's car. You guys may remember her car in an old video with Gary driving the Canyon. She runs Time Attack with it, super rad. It's got like red tint, super stoked on the interior, super sick. Alright, so we linked up with my boy, Jesse. Jesse, for people that have never been to Subiefest, what would you tell them about it?
It's a lot different than when I used to come here, but I like it.
He used to have a Subaru also. He had an STI, it was sick. But then he said no more.
Nah, no more battle STI.
No more. About to get ripped, $5 for a water bottle, because we didn't bring water. Jesse's gonna put these wheels on his Lexus. Oh, Jesse, no? They're not 3-piece, they're not hot boy enough? What's happening, dudes? It's a new day. We gotta go run by JRP, pick up some new parts for the Evo. I'm very excited. I've been waiting for like 2 weeks for these, and they're finally in. I can't wait to show you what they are. First things first, we gotta go get some gas for the i300 though. Filling up gas at this gas station by my house always has me bummed because they have E85 here, and the Evo's not ready. Damn. But it sucks because E85 prices are up right now. Look at that price, dude. Propels off the rocker. Oh, one very long car ride later, we're here at Jerp. I told them I'd hit them up around 2. I don't think they're expecting me. So literally, Jeff and I are the worst at coordinating things because I show up to the shop and Jeff is off getting injectors cleaned and Ronnie's at lunch. So as you can see, the shop is locked. It's all good though. I got in touch with Ronnie. He's gonna be here in like 30 minutes. But in the meantime, I could admire how many cars are under car covers and then go look at the only 2 exposed Evos. It's just a cute little Evo. Poor decisions are being made. All right, so we're here. We're in the shop. This is my stuff. It came. There's a ton of stuff like usual here. I have Ronnie over there talking business. Just want to take a minute to admire how nice the welds are on the Tome Extreme tie. Full titanium exhaust. I'm jealous. I'm assuming too, because it's a straight pipe all the way to a muffler, that this exhaust is probably pretty loud. So some people collect shoes. Ronnie Built collects 4B11s. These are all cores that are ready to get built. They're trying to stock them in. They have a price. I actually don't know the price off the top of my head, but you should check their Instagram. See what their 4B11 builds are going for. They're ready to go, guys. Come get them. Got the man, the myth, the legend to explain what is going on with all of these guys.
Yeah, so we got a bunch of 4B11 cores now in stock, so we're gonna start offering crate packages. They're all gonna be the same thing, so they're all gonna be the same thing we've been doing, and it's, you know, been proven time and time again. Making in excess of 950 horse. So we're doing wet LA sleeves that are ductile iron. Obviously, we step deck it so the sleeve protrudes a little bit throughout the, you know, to the top of the block. So it's not flush with the actual block is what I'm trying to say. So the block is machined and then the sleeve is actually protruded. So that helps, you know, head gasket sealing tremendously when you're throwing a lot of boost and timing at it. JRP spec diamond pistons, essentially the same stuff that you guys saw with our 4G63 stuff. And you guys might have been following some other builds on our Instagram that we did. So we've been using those. So they're custom dry lubricant coated skirts, Edge 13 225 thou thick wall pins that are again Edge 13 tool steel offered by Trend. They're deburred on the valve reliefs, so we don't have to sit there and, you know, do it by sandpaper. I'm sure you guys remember me doing it before in Josh's videos. So we use those, so they're very strong pistons, they're very strong forgings that they use. CP Carrillo Pro wedge beam rods for all of them. So we're trying to keep everything the same on every single build. King bearings, obviously, as always, but they're PMAX coated bearings. That's what we've been using lately. They're superior bearings, and now you basically get a 4th layer of protection.
Damn.
So it's still a tri-metal, you know, 3-layer bearing, but you get this 4th layer of coating that doesn't affect the clearances, but it really hardens the top layer essentially. And that's the thing with the tri-metal stuff. Like, they don't really have a lot of room to absorb a lot of foreign material. You know, they're not like bimetal bearings that you get from the factory, because those stuff can actually absorb, you know, quite a, you know, big chunks that are in the oiling system. But the tri-metal stuff, you just gotta, you know, stay on top of your oil changes so you don't get a lot of foreign material in the motor.
Right.
So that's that. OEM crankshaft. So the OEM stroke, we're not changing the stroke. So they're 86.5 mil bores. We get the sleeves and we true it up, obviously, with a torque plate. Full CNC machine work, so it's CNC deck, CNC sleeve, CNC line board. We actually offset bore them. I've talked about this previously. Offset boring is basically all the cylinders, because we're going to a new sleeve and we can start from a fresh start. We basically will offset bore it. So the cylinders aren't centered, they're actually shifted towards one side a little bit.
Damn.
And what that does is on the power stroke, it gives the rod less of an angle. So instead of it being like this, it's kind of like this. So it has more inertia to basically transfer the power to the crankshaft, basically for your horsepower. But that's all included in this. So there's a lot of R&D behind the motors.
That's crazy.
And like I said, they're super proven motors. So they're long block. Full long blocks, you get the plastic valve cover. I know, plastic, I mean, this is what we have. So you get the plastic valve cover, but you get everything from valve cover to pan, and you also get a, you know, the pulley and the crankshaft bolt front cover. So it's essentially ready to drop in with a rear main seal just installed. Everything's ready. You just gotta, you know, put your stuff on it. If you want to swap out the valve cover, swap it. And you also get a full ported JRP spec race cylinder head with bigger exhaust ports, because the 4B11s, I mean, you guys have already seen it. The exhaust ports are very small. 2 fingers barely fit in there, as opposed to the 4G63s are ginormous. So, you know, those get bigger. The dividers are, you know, contoured and knife edged on both the exhaust and the intake side. Obviously all the casting flaws are taken out, and we do our combustion chamber work. We polish the chambers, so that really improves performance on a pump gas motor that's, you know, limited to fuel octane levels. So essentially you lessen your chances of detonation, hence you can squeeze more power out of them. And that's again included in there. So you get GSE plus 1mm exhaust and intake valves. GSC valve guides that are bronze valve guides, GSC valve stamp seals, obviously a full valve job, and we actually hot plate the 4B11 heads, which is literally a torque plate for the head. So there's literally a torque plate that gets bolted onto the head, just like the block would. So it's the same concept, and what you're doing is you're making sure the seats and everything aren't getting distorted when you bolt on the head. So it's, everything is as perfect as it can be. See if I'm forgetting anything. Brand new oil pump, brand new oil, the brand new timing chain, brand new guides, brand new gasket set, obviously. Again, drop-in motors. Your choice of S2 or S3 camshafts. So depending on what kind of power you're trying to make. Right now we're offering the GSC stuff. You can get Calfords if you want to. 214Cs, we've been having a lot of luck with those two. But the GSC stuff, the billet stuff is just they're awesome cams. And GSC conical valve springs. So on shim, they're good for over 40 pounds of boost and 10,000 RPM, which most of these motors are never even going to see that. But even if you were to do that, the motor will handle it.
Crazy.
They're priced around $13,500, and we don't have a core charge for it. So they're built to order. So we got a few people that are interested. I just posted about it 2 days ago. So we got a few people that are interested. We take a 50% down payment and then 50% whenever the engine's ready, and it's a 46-week lead time. So we already have cores at our machine shop that's ready to be swapped. So that's what's going on with these guys.
Crazy.
The shop's a mess right now. There's some construction going on in the background. So that's why it's a mess, and it's kind of like, we keep on cleaning it, and then the next day it's all messy again. So like, we're just gonna wait and then clean like at the end of the week every week. But we got another GR6 that's apart. It's completely disassembled actually. That GR6 is basically the center section. The gear cluster got sent to Jack Transmissions for the PPG 2 to 4. The billet gears, I think we kind of slightly talked about it. This is Mr. Johnson's build. So speaking of which, let's take a quick trip to the engine room so we can showcase a few things that we got here. Again, a big mess right now. As you guys can see, it's not the cleanest. We just have a lot of things. We got hit with a lot of projects at the same time.
Is this the Lamborghini motor?
No, this is a GTR motor.
Oh, okay. What happened to that one that you guys had before?
We still have it.
Oh, you do?
We're still waiting for the client to...
Yeah, I get it.
It's expensive.
Yeah.
It's very expensive. The quote I gave him, he's still trying to get one. I mean, it's there. It's
okay. Safe.
It's just taking space right now. But
okay.
That's going to be... I'm gonna have to hit the guy up. I think he forgot he has a Lamborghini. But
that's funny.
Sorry to God, dude, it's still like 7 months.
Yeah.
It's been open because that was like the first month, and they came through with that. And
right.
I inspected it, and I was like, "Yeah, this is what you need." And he's like, "All right, cool. I'll get back to you." Cool. Get back to me, man. Yeah. I need space. Yeah. His heads are heavy.
Right.
This is Mr. Johnson. This is we have two Mr. Johnsons, which is funny. Now, this is a DSM motor. Notice how the head studs are 1/2 inches already to begin with.
Crazy.
They're bigger head studs. Oh, perfect. Thank you, brother. Yeah. So this is just it's just a basic JRP spec rebuild. This is using Eagle rods, which I don't ever use. But this was just a client that came to us and just wanted a stock rebuild, and I told him we don't do that, and he's like, well, what is like the cheapest alternative? And I talked him out of it, and he's like, no, I just want to buy those parts and do it. And I was like, all right, we'll just pay for the machine work, I'll assemble it for you. And this is like a one-time deal. I don't like, I really don't, because I know the parts that we use, they work.
Yeah.
Like the Manley Turbo Toughs with the 625s and even the 2000s, like, we know they work, they're not like, Manley's not known for the best quality, but their rods are pretty sharp. Or like CP Carrillo stuff for the 4011, that's all I use now. That's that. This is Chris Rinkin's motor. We're waiting for the metal valve cover to get here in his turbo kit. So he's gonna be on a 9174. I'm actually gonna upgrade his pulleys to the Hyundai Genesis, the metal pulleys, as these are known to flex and actually throw the belt, especially at the boost levels that he's going to be running at. So we're going to swap those over. So like I said, metal valve cover. He's getting the EFR 9174 kit twin scroll. external dump, obviously, so that's going to be a pretty sweet setup. Very quick spooling. It's a 10-to-1 compression JRP spec motor, exactly what all these other crate motors are going to be. You know, CP Curlo Pro etch beams, PMAX coated, you know, king bearings, all that stuff. Over here we got Mr. Johnson's motor. It's another good customer of ours. So this is a JRP spec / D Sport spec, 1600 wheel horsepower capable VR38 long block. So these are, mind you, still using the stock head bolts, because they're literally just as like tensily, they're just as strong as the ARP 625s. So it's got, again, CP Curlo Pro etch beams, like everything else lately. A custom Molly piston, so these blocks are actually torque plated. The heads have Tomei 274 pop cams, so they're a little bit higher in lift. They have Tomei valve springs, pocket ported heads, full valve job with, you know, hot plates, as I mentioned again. So you see all these cam gears have been disassembled. So anytime you have a big failure like this, it's actually the Nissan manual stage that you're not supposed to take these apart, but I did. Because they basically don't want you to disassemble the gear. If you have a failure, you basically replace everything. But, you know, we're not going to replace the gears if we can just take them out and clean them properly. Because we've done this for like the Evo, you know, 9s and stuff like that with my gears, Evo 10s. It's actually a pretty simple process. You just got to make sure you put everything back and you clean everything throughout. And it's kind of crazy to see how much crap comes out whenever you take one of these apart. Because yeah, it has a lot of like residue and stuff that gets stuck onto it. But that's pretty much done. I was waiting for some parts from Nissan. So that's the lower portion of the oil pan. That's actually the diff tube. I don't know if you want to come check it out. This is the diff tube. Sorry for my funky pants, by the way. It was cold this morning. I have to get dressed quickly.
That's crazy.
So who's calling me? Yeah, so this is the diff tube. Basically, the front differential sits over here, and then the diff tube goes through the oil pan. That's pretty crazy, right?
That is crazy.
It's Mercedes uses this technology, and a lot of other cars, I'm sure. We got a brand new oil pump for him. It's already primed and installed. This piece was $1,000. The oil pump was like $1,000. It's
just for the pump.
Just the pump was $1,000. This was like actually $1,200.
Wow.
And then, so yeah, this is gonna go on next, and then it's essentially just gonna get timed. And then we're just waiting for the turbos. We got, like I said, the transmission's coming back with the turbos. Over there, we got Sam's engine. So Sam is Evo 9 build that we did. Again, JRP spec with our diamond spec pistons. He's actually using the Manly rods, 156 mil rods, so it's a long rod 2.0, 20 over. So we started him from virgin block because he was already on a 40 over block, and whoever did the previous machine work, they kind of pooped on it. So ported intake manifold, ported throttle body, sheepy twin scroll, stock location, basically standard mount. 6466 with a 1.0 AR hot side, so this should make some pretty good jam. Again, turbo tufts with 625 rod bolts, so we're planning on revving it up to 995.
Jesus Christ.
We'll see. We have no issues really revving them up that high if we don't, you know, go crazy loose with the bearing clearances, which we don't. So, you know, at that point, if you just want to keep revving them high, you kind of need like a standalone, or at least the ability to basically log oil pressure and see how the oil pump does, you know, at those RPMs. Because you could have great oil pressure and wide open throttle, but once it gets to 9,000 RPM, it might drop 10 pounds, which is not that bad. But what if it drops like 40 pounds? You know, you kind of have to like know exactly how much. That's why standalone is very important for jack cars when they're launching the car and all that stuff. But yeah, it has our head packet, so it's a fully ported Evo 9 head, obviously. Fully polished combustion chambers, plus 1mm GSC intakes, plus 1mm super alloy exhaust valves. They're, again, +1, but they're like heat treated, and they're able to withstand a lot of temperature, so you can, you know, stay on the rev limiter for a while if you want to, you know, launch the car, or you know, shoot flames or whatnot. But Yeah, so that's that. This is essentially the same thing we've been offering to every Evo 8 and 9 that's been here. So that's that. Yeah, as far as engines go, and then we got over there, we got Randy's motor. We're still waiting for his car to come in. We got 2 more 4V11s that are coming in soon for builds. We got Bruce's motor that we're building right now. We're doing a sleeved, again, a sleeved JRP spec, just like Chris's motor, exactly the same stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're staying pretty busy with the engine program, but again, like I said, we'll be more than happy to help you guys out if you guys just want a crate engine. We can offer installation services too. Just hook you guys up, give you guys a good discount, and if you do want to give us the core, we don't, you know, that price doesn't include a core. It's basically no core. But if you do include a core, you know, we can give you a discount there too. So yeah, that's what's been going on. We got some big news coming up. Yeah, you guys will hear about it pretty soon.
Little meet and greet.
Big meet over here pretty soon. So stay tuned for that, because Josh is going to be one of the first to basically put the word out. Well, yeah, Jeffrey's car we haven't really made any progress on. We're still waiting for the stuff to come back from the machine shop, and that's pretty much what we're waiting on at this point. And then after that, we can kind of get to the wiring and the ECU and figure everything out.
Right.
He's gonna be on an edge pattern. We're just still trying to figure out what we're gonna do. It's probably gonna be a dog box with like a strain gauge setup. He's on an AEM Infinity, so I gotta figure everything out, how to set up the strain gauge and all that, because I've never done a strain gauge setup. But
yeah,
essentially all it is like an ignition cut for a split second. As soon as it sees some strain on the gauge, you know, it sees some voltage, it basically cuts ignition timing, retards ignition timing. So it basically reduces engine torque, so the dog gear can engage better, basically. So you know you're not destroying your transmission every time you shift.
Crazy.
And yeah, you can get them down pretty fast. I mean, I think English Racing today went like 7.8.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, that's how they do it. You know, they're on a dog box with a strain gauge. And
Crazy.
Basically cut ignition. And then Procco went 7.77, but that was on a sequential, so that's a whole different animal. But
yeah.
Yeah, we're still trying to keep it an edge pattern for now. Because funds.
I like that for now.
Yeah, I think it gets really expensive. I know with these big builds, like there's just a lot of like you don't see it, but like by the time you set up like the CAN network, like all the sensors, this, that, you're like 15 grand in just electronics.
That's crazy.
Like, fuck, man, now I gotta worry about fuel.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like now I gotta worry about them. Like the motor we already sort of have figured out, but it's just the bottom end. You know what I mean? Like we have a dry sump for it, and then we have a bottom end for it.
Right.
That of course you guys are gonna get to see assembled along with my motor. But you know, there's just so many things that you got to do on a car to make it legitimate. I mean, you can cut corners and just get a car that you can go to a track and, you know, do runs, but you know, it's not going to be a car that's going to go 8 seconds as soon as, you know, you hit the strip with some, you know, good seat time. And so that's kind of what we're trying to do. We're not trying to just, all right, it's a 10-second car, you know. I think we're trying to like just go balls deep as, you know, whatever we can do, and then like slowly work our. I'm not saying, you know, just go blow.
No, of course.
Fast, because, you know, you don't want to just give it everything, and either the driver puts it in the wall, or you blow an engine that you spend like, you know, 20-30 grand on or whatever.
Yeah, don't say that. I don't want
yeah, or something catches fire. I mean, there's so many things that can happen, so you gotta like incremental success better than fast failure, man. I've always said that.
Where's that from? Did you just come up with that?
I don't know. I think I did. I don't think
I was like, that was like a movie quote right there.
Incremental success. I don't know. I heard it somewhere though, but not a movie.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's that. My car is coming back pretty soon. So my car, there's quite a bit of changes that are happening actually. So we're actually going to be on a small shot of nitrous just to basically wake it up. So from like 3,500 or like 4 grand. I was looking at my logs the other day, and I was building like 1 pound of boost by like 4 grand, and then I was like 30 by like 6, and then full boost by like 7 grand or like 6,500. I can't remember, something like that.
Wow.
But if we hit it with nitrous at 4 grand, just a small 50 shot or whatever, it'll wake it up enough so that by like 5 grand I can have full boost, you know. So that's one of the changes that's coming. I still have to figure the whole situation out, which isn't gonna take me long. It's like a 2-day process, literally. You know? They make it easy now, especially with my link and everything. It's basically just an analog, you know, signal from the nitrous relay to the ECU. So whenever it sees power, you know, if it's a dry system, it enriches. If it's a wet system, it just pulls timing. You know.
Right.
So that's that. Coolant pressure sensor, so we don't fucking lift the head again. 1/2-inch head studs. We're doing stainless steel O-rings this time around for both of our cars, with Jeffrey's and mine. We were thinking of doing a copper O-ring and a receiver groove in the head, but for right now we're gonna stay on the MLS and just kind of take it easy on the timing and just make the power with the boost. That's what I've learned in the past year of just messing with these cars and just high boost, and you can make a lot of power with boost and, you know, not risk it with the timing, because the timing is really what just, you know, builds up extreme cylinder pressures. I mean, it's crazy how big of a difference it makes to, you know, make your power with boost, you know.
Right.
Stock block cars, you know, 35, 36 pounds all day.
That's crazy.
12 degrees of timing up top, you know, super soft timing, like 3 degrees by peak torque, and like they're happy. They make the power. They don't knock. They don't do anything. You know?
That's crazy.
They're both going to be on Ignite Red, mine and Jeffrey's. Later on, this car is capable of methanol because he's on an 8 injector setup. Well, initially we might be on a 4 injector, but he's definitely got no. We are going to be on an 8 injector. He already got the manifold. So many things have changed on the car. Like there's nothing even in the car right now, but so many things have already changed as far as plan wise go that I kind of like forget what we're doing with the car. You know? It's definitely not stuck.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, dog box for now probably. I'm still in stock transmission.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see how long that lasts on my car.
Quartermaster, right?
Yeah, quartermaster, fucking just beating up those sinkers every single time. So that's, yeah, on my car, like I said, coolant pressure sensor. So I have a AEM 4-channel wideband now, so we're gonna have individual widebands, but we also basically need to account for the turbine back pressure. So I need to have a back pressure sensor either on the manifold or on the turbine housing, but on the turbine housing is not ideal because you can get some turbine gases leaking past it. But basically when you have AFR sensors, you know, in an area that's pressurized, for instance, pre-turbo, you basically need to compensate for that with a basically exhaust back pressure sensor.
Yeah.
So if you know the exhaust back pressure, you can do the calculation of how off that AFR value is going to be. You get what I'm saying? Because it's not a downpipe anymore. It's pre-turbine. It's a pressurized area. So that's going to be another thing that's going to be incorporated in there. Initially, we might just put everything back and just like low boost. Just like kind of like mess with it for now, and then slowly add it on, just so I can get the car back up on the road, because I need space, and space is filling up fast here.
Yeah.
So we gotta do that, but yeah, it's just staying busy, man. Just staying busy.
I agree.
Yes, sir. All right, so a quick overview of the fuel system that's going to be in his Evo. It's basically going to be a 5-gallon fuel cell in the back. Ethanol or methanol, depending on what we're running at the time. Probably -12 lines. So we're gonna have dual 4.4s, basically transferring the fuel to the front of the car, which is gonna be basically a 1-gallon cell over here, and then we're gonna have the mechanical pump basically scavenge from that 1-gallon tank, so to speak, on demand, and then you're still gonna have like a fuel pressure regulator and a return line that can go back to the main cell. So that kind of makes it convenient, but it's also very dangerous, because if you crash, the car can obviously catch on fire. But that's the best way to do it, because that's the shortest route, because it's basically like 2-3 feet from the pump to the actual, you get what I mean?
Yeah.
That basically takes it and just like shoots it straight inside the fuel rail. Jesus, I can't even talk today. But yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting build. You guys are going to get to see everything from A to Z. It might be a while, but I mean, we're working on it as we can. Jeffrey's been doing most of the work on it, but once it gets to the engine stuff, then I'll kind of take over, and you guys will see all that stuff happen. And it's going to be an interesting build. It's going to be an interesting build for sure.
Definitely. I was just talking to Ronnie how a lot of people, when they think of a built Evo, they think of like a built motor, but Jeff's car, the one he was just talking about, the fuel system, is gonna be so insane. I can't wait to share with you guys literally like the full amount of parts list just to work when it's all done. It's gonna be one of the most insane Evo 9s in the United States, I can promise you that. So now I'm moving over my wacky car so I can go put the parts in it and then go home and unbox them and show you guys what we got for the Evo. I'm excited. So very soon, when Ronnie has the time, we're gonna do the clutch. Thank you, sir, taking the time out of your busy day to talk to the people on the internet.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. Got a lot of cool stuff coming up. So. Excuse the pants again.
The one time I wish I had a bigger car, look at this. Got the downpipe in this box, intercooler piping taking up the whole seat. I'm so happy though. I'm so happy there's not traffic right now. Oh my God, I spoke too soon, never mind. I just got back home. I feel like it only makes sense to show you guys and unbox part of it with you, just because I'm sure you guys are kind of eager to see what I got. Oh man, that box is so big. This thing is narrow. I can show you guys the downpipe, because this one will come out easy. I'm trying to open this up. Who the hell is calling me right now? Yo. What are the odds that you call me right now when I'm filming myself unboxing my downpipe?
Damn, boy.
I'll have you on the phone, say something to the internet.
What do you want me to say to the internet?
I don't know, give him life advice in one sentence.
Life of, alright, I got him. Oh, that, are we going action right now or what?
Yeah, you're good.
So hey, this is all the viewers that are missing a little bit of the sergeant in their life. I'm gonna give you guys some life advice. If y'all ever volunteer for anything and you're in the military, always expect to get fucked over. That shit happens a lot.
that's I don't know if that's good life advice. I don't know. Did you hear him? Yeah. Derek heard you too.
Hey, ask him if I'm wrong though.
If you guys didn't get the reference, that was Sergeant Zach. But I am really super hyped on this MAP downpipe. Look at this. Man, this thing is really, really cool. I'm very stoked. And it's gonna sound really cool. If you guys don't know, this is a screamer pipe. So it's like O2 housing. And then now to see what the intercooler looks like. I hope I got the one with the stencil. I told Jeff to order the one with the stencil. I don't know if that was translated or not, but we're gonna find out. What? But anyways, this is kind of what you can expect. All the couplers and hardware. You got the core itself. And then it actually is the one with the ETS stencil. I saw it right there. I'm not gonna take this off just because I don't want it to get damaged, but super stoked. So there's some of the pieces for the Evo. I got the 3.5-inch ETS core that you can run the Cusco front brace with. Also, it's good for speed density, so we're gonna delete the MAF or mass airflow sensor. The MAP O2 limiter downpipe, the all-in-one with the O2 housing. Super stoked on that because the welding is so nice. Next video you guys are going to see is actually the registration battle with the Evo. I haven't talked about that yet, but we are going to go to the DMV and fight the DMV to get some license plates for the car. And then from there you guys should see me throw on the clutch. So a lot of exciting things, a lot of great changes. If you guys aren't subscribed to the channel already, highly recommend that you guys should. There's a lot of cool changes coming up, lots of cool car stuff. A couple friends of mine are buying some new cars as well. Can't wait to share it on the channel. So I will see you guys all in the next video. Peace out.